Evening all, welcome to Kicking Dust. Now, I promised you Nova Knife Gang. You have now got Nova Knife Gang and Galante Laser Dude. Sorry, I keep forgetting. So here we go. This was basically everybody running a scout suit, and then a mixture of shotguns, flaylocks, but pretty much everybody had Nova Knives, which is very nice. So let's have a look at this amazing gang of destruction. Basically fail utterly to kill many people at all. I'm talking about me here. This is pretty much, I'm terrible with these things. But as you can see, just running around, seeing what, 4, 5, 6 scouts come at you, pretty terrifying, I must admit. And I think this was again one of those moments where you just have such a blast when you do these kind of things. I think too many people, again, I'm going on about it, but too many people, Caldari Assault and AR, and it's boring. You know, try something different. Get a scout suit, get a shotgun, and run literally 6 shotgunners with scout suits. It's funny. What you're doing here, let me just explain here. You see that we sat and waited for somebody to go and hack C, and then we basically mug him, and that's pretty much one of the, I think it was hilarious, and I think we need to do more of these kind of things. It was hilarious sitting there waiting. And so, for example, here we see that there's a group trying to push across the bridge, so we come up behind them and start to flay them from behind. And I thought it was it's so much fun. It really was. And I think certainly you should give this this kind of gameplay a go. Although I utterly failed there. But I think this is the thing. It's, a lot of the game is quite, draining at times. And I think people, they get stuck into a role, and that's kind of all they run. So you run Logi or you run Heavy. And I probably would say there's nothing better than just stretching your legs a little bit and going and doing something a bit different. And you die a lot, and it does, it doesn't mean you're going to own at it because you're not used to it, but you'll have fun with it. So here we go. Look, this is where we all die. We basically rush in wide open space, a group of AR Logis with Nova Knives and scout suits, and we die. But we get, we're straight back into the fray, and then here we go. Charge! Jump over the Heavy, and then try and slash the dude. And again, he has a good shield, naturally, because he's a Logi, but it's good. It's good fun, and I think certainly everybody should give this kind of stuff a go. If you don't like Nova Knives, try shotguns. If you don't like shotguns, try lasers. If you don't like lasers, try forge guns. There's plenty of options, and I think when you kind of just have 6 people, I mean, forge guns is hilarious. On this map, particularly if you get on top of the high point, if you just sit there with forge guns, 6 of you, and obviously help with ammo and spawns and such, but if you just sit there with, a decent number of people, you will have an absolute blast. And pretty much you'll just keep everybody dead from the word go. And I think things like Nova Knife gangs and shotgun gangs particularly are very effective, because there's a fear factor there as well. When you see somebody running at you with a shotgun, it's terrifying. When you see someone running at you, 6 people running at you with shotguns, you see people literally soil themselves. Well, not literally, but might as well as little computerized turd pixel coming out. That'd be good. I think people really literally do shit a brick when they see certain things. We saw it with the Nova Knife gang as well. All of a sudden, prototype heavy suits literally would try to run away from us. And it was adorable, it really was, because they know that they're going to take 2 or 3 of us down, but the combined effort of all those knives slashing at them is not going to work. Called in a dropship, and I failed utterly. I was trying to actually get up on high, and I think it was because I thought there was a sniper up there, but sadly no. In the end, we actually just resorted, because again, it was just pretty much one-way fight. We pretty much resorted to hunting snipers, so it wasn't a big kill map. And you'll see towards the end, we actually start to kind of just go and find the snipers out there and really deal with them. And I've got to admit, that was probably the fun part of the game. I know Eddie Rio, you check out his channel, by the way, he's awesome. Eddie Rio has been doing this wonderful series of, finding basically snipers, then sitting behind them and doing evil things to them. That's all I'll say. Go and check out his channel, Eddie Rio. I'll put a link to it in the bottom there. Click that. Because it is just hilarious, the sort of things that you can do when you do change your style a little bit. Think about it from a point of view that, what could you do to really troll someone? What would you do to maybe have a bit of fun with someone? And there are some really quite, amusing things that you can do. I mean, even if it's just getting on high and, using scrambler rifles or laser rifles, that's fun, that's different, okay? I think too many people consider this game Counter-Strike. I mean, Counter-Strike is a good example of a game where pretty much there's nothing to do except kill the other team and, defuse the bomb, whatever it may be. It's very linear in what it does. And I think from talking to a few people, I think there is still this oppression from CCP that they want to make a very linear, round-based game. Again, nothing wrong with that. What I think we want to do, because we come from, I guess, the EVE and the kind of wider game like DayZ and things like that, more sandbox games, we want to turn this game into something where we can have a bit of fun as well as the round. So yeah, there's a round game going on here, capture the points, you then deplete the MCC and you win. We want to do stuff maybe alongside that, so maybe we do go and run Nova Knife gangs, maybe we go and do silly stuff like we'll try and do dropship stunt flying. This is all stuff that I think enriches the game. It gives it, when you start to have a game that has that round based concept but with a sandbox element beneath it, it is fun. Okay, and I can only stress that it's something that I think people will warm to more so than they would with just the game being one particular linear path. So, food for thought. I think certainly we have more fun in Dust playing the way we play, which is usually arsing around, than we do running the matches. And when I look at some of the statistics of some of the players and corporations out there, there must be this kind of huge body of corporations and groups who just run ambush, permanent. That's it. That's all they run. Ambush, ambush, ambush. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I've got to admit, we used to run ambush and we got bored of it within a few days, because it's pretty much just deathmatch. Whereas I think having a different, there's not a lot you can do with that. Whereas with this kind of gameplay, their focus is not on another player. It's actually more so on capturing the objective. And there, with that kind of privilege of focus, you could start to really mess with people because, for example, Forge Guns looking at the capture point in a domination match, perfect, fantastic fun. And I certainly think that there are some massively different play styles and attitudes from people in the game, because we rarely do ambush, but it seems that the majority of people do, and they just treat this Dust as literally a death match. Or team deathmatch rather, and I think that's quite interesting to us because we differ quite massively from that. We would rather, go and call tanks in and do stupid stuff and mess about. Stuff like this, just coming up behind a sniper. I mean, again, I haven't shown it, but we do a lot of stalking. That sounds crazy, but we'll just follow a player until we literally think he's run with us, and then we'll kill him. And in some cases, we could stalk a player for a minute plus because the guy will be sat sniping and we're just sat behind him, literally just sat watching the back of his head, waiting for him to clock that we're there. And that's funny. To us, that's hella funny. I mean, maybe we play a different game to a lot of other people, but to us who win a lot, the losers, doesn't matter. To us, the KD ratio doesn't matter. What's more important is, are you having fun? And if you were sat there saying, no, I'm not having fun, then seriously, you're in the wrong court. Look at that, 4 and 5, a negative death ratio. I don't think you've ever seen me do that badly. But do you know what? We ended this match with a great big smile on our face. So there we go. I think, just again, really would stress, treat the game as a framework. Don't treat it as a linear path. Treat it as a multi-pathed road where you can go and have fun. You can go and play serious. You can go and play as a team. Try different fits. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.